90 seconds of menus. Again, how is Sora dumped here?
You think it's okay to barge in?
Goofy waits to ask until they've already barged in.
Seriously? Me too.
Sora hit puberty in the 5 minutes it took to get here.
Why isn't it working?
I should think it's obvious.
Not really. If these worlds are figments of our imagination, does that mean that when we get attacked, we don't actually get attacked? Why is Marluxia helping us fight? What is this, Yu-Gi-Oh? How are we getting stronger if we're not really fighting anything? Yeah, guys, those are the clothes you wore in the first game. And why did you have different clothes in the intro? Speaking in riddles. Down is a jerk to Sora. In the other games, every world has worms that look different from the others. This one decides, who cares? So to those of you wondering why I'm not saying the gameplay as much this time, here you go. I barely understand what just happened. Leon temporarily forgetting us is kinda pointless. Oh man, I wanted Yuffie to be the one to give us the tour. Edelgard is so gonna kill me for that. This card break system is a major headache. And that's one of the reasons why I like the other Kingdom Hearts games better than this. That doesn't exactly answer its question. This franchise is obsessed with the word heart. That's answered everything. How did we survive the fall? It's your heart. How do we all remember this? It's your heart. They really need to fix this carpet. And it looks too big for the bed. Can't they even bother checking where these cutscenes were in the original? Since they're recycling elements from the first game, I'm surprised they don't go all the way. And yes, this game reused a lot from the first game. Then again, this game was made by Nomura, the same moron who only remade the first part of the Final Fantasy VII remake and will probably wait a decade to remake part 2. Sid doesn't find it weird that Sora accidentally said castle instead of town. You had to go to the cliche of characters thinking the main character's crazy for seeing something the others didn't see? I'm sick of that.
Would you like me to give you a hint? I'm gonna figure it out for myself.
Because reasons. You're a wimp compared to Axel. Why does going to different floors erase previous rooms? I envisioned the Realm of Darkness to be, well, dark. Not just grayish. Even the Hollow Bastion cutscenes and Riku's story aren't voiced, even though this is one of the most important worlds in the first game. That would have been neat. The gameplay in Reverse Rebirth is the same as it is in Sora's story, except you can't even customize your deck. Enjoy the only scene in the game where Riku encounters a Disney character besides Mickey, unless you count boss fights, which I don't count for reasons you'll find out soon. This fight is a joke compared with Sora's story.
Stop resisting. Accept the darkness.
Discount Darth Vader. That's a creepy face. Calling it D-mode at times? That's disturbing. Riku can't use slides unless he's in this form. Unlike Axel and Larxene, Vexen doesn't look like a user of his respective element.
You're only number 6.
Sax is more important than Xigbar, right?
One of them was Maleficent.
She cannot return from the realm of darkness of her own volition.
Unless you remember her name. I'm not kidding. Play Kingdom Hearts 2. Jiminy doesn't fall off Sora's hood, reusing worlds from the first game. And there's no new Disney worlds. The Disney worlds have no voice acting. How lazy are these developers? Why does Genie forbid people from wishing for more wishes? Yeah, that would be unfair, but is he really that desperate to go back into the lamp he's been longing to be free of? Like I said before, why can't Aladdin rub the lamp again for another 3 wishes after his 3rd wish? Assuming things happened like in the movie, how did you know the old man was actually Jafar? Again, in the movie, Jasmine liked you even before your prince wish. Discount Voltorb. Aladdin wastes his 2nd wish on these suckers instead of one jump aheading over there. Why can't Jafar wish to be Sultan like in the movie? Repeating a sin from the first game yet again, what bad things could possibly happen if Genie didn't grant Jafar's wishes? Does Genie go to some kind of Genie court? This was a pretty smart move to trick Jafar into wasting his 2nd wish, but wouldn't Jafar find Sora saying, Aladdin, now! Suspicious? How are we in the Cave of Wonders? Only Aladdin's allowed in. I like the original version of this song better. The first game actually explained how defeating Iago also defeats Jafar, but this game doesn't explain at all. And he's still not using the full extent of his powers. I wish we could actually see Jasmine being alright. Unlike in the movie version of the scene when Genie actually seems like he wanted to put Aladdin's happiness before his own freedom, this time it just makes Genie look like he's guilt-tripping him. Genie still has the cuffs on. No better than Jafar? Yeah, you did the right thing by freeing Genie, but using it to win Jasmine's heart is as bad as trying to conquer the world?
Every page is blank.
You saw 2 pages.
Something smells funny. It's the smell of darkness.
Riku's only renewable healing option doesn't heal much. Wow. I thought the lack of voices in Sora's story was lazy, but Riku's Disney Worlds have no cutscenes. This journal's huge.
When you turned into a Heartless, did you forget about me and Donald?
Of course I didn't.
Wrong!
I started forgetting things. My friends.
The top part of the sign is the only part in English. The game gets our hopes up that this world has cool tournaments like the first game did. Cloud being here will cause a lot of confusion to newcomers. Someone say, who the heck is this guy? I don't remember him in the movie. Heck, I never even heard of Final Fantasy when I first played this. Cloud trusts someone as creepy as Hades. These swords are in the middle of the open. How does hitting torches douse them? I still think Phil looks more like a pig than a satyr. We probably could beat Hercules if he keeps stopping himself to taunt like in the first game. Character calls someone something right after they say not to call them that cliche. Oh, the first one who crosses it wins. Who would have guessed? Since the contest always has the same outcome, this rule ends up being pointless. This marathon plays out like any level in the game. These power walls remind me that I'm still mad we can't go to Deep Jungle because of stupid copyright. So is he waiting for Hercules? If so, I'm surprised Hercules didn't run ahead, especially since we probably stopped to fight some Heartless during the marathon. What happened to Cloud's wing that he had in the first game? Why would you want to battle your foes on the course? That'll pretty much give the other opponent an automatic victory. I thought it was cooler when they used the song Face It when we fought him. How did Cloud go ahead right away after we kicked his butt? We don't see their expressions like in the Game Boy version. Even though Sora's treating these figments of his imagination like they're real versions, Sora doesn't seem to care for Hercules' safety and only because he wants to fight him one-on-one. This fire attack's a pain. By when I've rested up a bit, you mean never, since this isn't the real Hercules.
I guess there's no way we'll forget the most important memories.
After only 3 floors. I forgot to send this in the first game, but it shouldn't be possible to come to Wonderland considering a plot twist at the end of the movie. Do you really not know what off with your head means? It should be self-explanatory. Oh, so now you know what it means? Well, I'm glad we have one new mechanic to a world that wasn't in the first game. Where were they in that department everywhere else? That moment when you realize the White Rabbit, a beloved classic character, was a horrible creature this whole time. The Queen of Hearts' behavior is still harder to watch than it was in the movie. She was still a tyrant in the movie, but at least then she had a reason to blame Alice. We spent too much time with her. And where's the Mad Hatter? They think we'll know the word brazen. I could go throughout my entire life without hearing Donald say Trump and I'd be happy. Donald, don't be such a jerk. He isn't laying down this flower. Why should we care about a figment of our imagination? If this Alice gets executed, the real Alice won't. Yeah, forgetting some things like it never happened. Unless it's really important where something bad will happen because you didn't remember. Why is the Queen still trying to execute Alice even though she believed us when we told her she's innocent? Here we go again. This franchise is once again pulling the cliche where something horrible is about to happen, but it's stopped by something even worse. Once again, it makes it look like the game's saying it'd be better if Alice was beheaded. And in the same world! Oh no, this annoying boss again. The Queen really is stupid if she doesn't notice Sora stuttering like this. So the Queen ended up fooling herself by remembering something that didn't happen. That was really smart of Alice to do, but I still think the Queen should have gotten more comeuppance than that. Riku had a big role in Neverland in the first game, yet he has no cutscenes here.
Darkness is my enemy. And so are you for reeking of that awful smell.
That smells sis. Just move. Monstro's insides still look different than in the movie. Would this be in the same continuity where Pinocchio promised he'd never lie again? If so, he just ruined his chances of being a real boy. Sora's beginning to forget his other friends, so how does Jiminy remember Pinocchio? Monstro should be getting splinters inside his skin from all these wood piles. Nice to see Cleo, but where's Figaro? You said if you're together that makes everything a little better, but then you said there's nothing better than being reunited. So was it much better or a little better? I don't think Jiminy was being that hard on Pinocchio. It's not like he called Pinocchio a naughty boy like in the Game Boy version. I doubt Geppetto will help find a way out. If he's like how he was in the movie, he'll just give up. Wasn't Pinocchio running towards the exit? Yet now we see Pinocchio running into a dead end. Or did Pinocchio run the wrong way? This boss is annoying because of the platforms. Parasite Cage is still moving after we killed it. We could easily cast fire magic to make Monstro sneeze like when Pinocchio lit a fire to make him sneeze in the movie. Instead we go through the trouble of fighting hard enough to make him sneeze. It is better if they escape together, but Pinocchio wouldn't have to be with Geppetto to be sneezed out. Most of this wood's broken, but this clock's perfectly intact. Sora's in this game for me, talking about the Heartless coming at the right time. We do kinda get to fight Monstro, but we still had to wait about a decade to actually fight him. Aside from Tinkerbell, this game's summons are terrible. Enemies can easily card break them because of how long they stay on screen. If you don't slay enough Heartless, they say, cough us up! But if you do, they don't, implying they secretly know if they beat enough or not. Namine can draw constantly moving people? Card kissing. So Halloween Town is obviously dedicated to Halloween. But do they do anything on the other 364 days of the year? Oh sure, wearing Halloween costumes will keep you from getting scared. Medicine, but I'll once again have to audio swap the music in Halloween Town, Atlantica, and 100 Acre Wood because of copyright. Jack's a jerk to Donald. This Nightmare Before Christmas world has no Christmas references yet. Property damage. From what we've seen of Dr. Finkelstein and what we'll see in this game, he's not the kind of guy to admit his mistakes. See, he even says in this dialogue box that his research is flawless. That's completely contradicting what he said 37 seconds ago. Also a superiority complex. That doesn't exactly answer Sally's question. Patrick Seaver to an ex machina. Also in the GBA version, it was actually kind of cool seeing Oogie Boogie emerge from a coffin. So why couldn't they do that again? Some of these plots are just recycled from the first game. Where do you keep that potion? Compared to his fight in the first game, this one is pretty pathetic. Instead of taking full advantage of his traps, he gives you too much time to attack the dice and completely prevent him from attacking. Did I forget to mention how annoying it is that you can only use 3 attack combos in this game? Sora believes he has the perfect opportunity to regain his memories, and it might even be his only chance. But instead he decides not to because of a promise that he shouldn't have made in the first place. Finkelstein still has a superiority complex. While Jack's point sounds logical about being scared being a sign of a functioning heart, it's played in a somewhat cheesy way, and it feels like a forced moral. Larkstein fights without dropping these.
Does it hurt because it's the truth?
Larkstein's actually annoying sometimes.
Think you could defeat me?
Why does she no longer say he thought he could lay a scratch on her? No, even though Donald seemed to really like Ariel and Failhorn Magic, he doesn't in this game. Does Ariel keep her secret treasures spread throughout Atlantica? And how has her father not found them? Maybe I'm uncultured, but when characters say, "woe is me," that sounds like they're being overdramatic in my opinion. How does Sora even know who Ariel is if he can't remember the other Disney characters? I know he can breathe here, but is the undersea pressure here? If so, Jiminy's dead. Sebastian didn't hear Donald shouting. Even though he did care for Ariel in the movie, in this scene he's making it look like he only cares about her so Triton won't get mad. Ariel trusts Ursula. Is this a direct reference to Return to the Sea where the villain tricked the hero into giving her the trident? If so, then that's 2 unneeded sequels referenced in this franchise. You just said Flounder was taken to the surface, now you're saying he's dodging hooks, implying he's still underwater. So which is it? Ursula shows that she has Flounder, which is enough for Ariel to know Ursula will actually give him to her. Why not use the trident to zap Ursula and save Flounder? Once again, since when could Ariel fight? And because we never find out how King Trident reacts to Ariel taking the trident, I guess we should assume she did get grounded literally forever like she was worried about, and we're supposed to be okay with that even though it's literally the most mean-spirited ending to any Disney world. Thank goodness this Ariel is only an illusion so it's not too infuriating. Still mad though. Also, how does a moral about honesty connect to the Little Mermaid? Besides, they did a terrible job at it. Instead of listing actual consequences like people won't trust you or it hurts others, it just says if you tell the truth, you'll be grounded literally forever, but you should still do it because reasons.
I swear it on this. The good luck charm you gave me.
Are we supposed to take that seriously when we know those memories are fake?
Sora will never forget Kairi.
Yes, he will, as shown in the second half of Sora's story. Neverland is even more wasted than it was in the first Kingdom Hearts, because at least then we could go to the clock tower, but here we have none of that. It's entirely restricted to Hook's ship, and there's no flying unless you count the glide ability. I can't hear the ocean. This room we're in completely changes design when we're in battle. Sora is right. These rooms really do look the same. Wow, Peter, you just made yourself look like a jerk by accusing us of being pirates. This is something that's confused me for many years now. Both this and the movie state that it's impossible for grown-ups to be in Neverland. But then what about the pirates and the Indians? How are they in Neverland? Peter is a jerk to Wendy. Hook was mad at us for being on his ship, but when we asked to get off his ship, he refuses to let us off. Why can't we distract Hook and let Wendy escape? Peter Pan ex machina. How did Hook regain his balance like that after almost falling off the plank? Also, maybe it's just me, but I wish this boss fight had the song Face It play before the fight with Hook like with some of the other bosses in the game. Hook's a pain because he can make all of his cards zeros and cancel out all of your card combos. At least the ship no longer rocks back and forth, which was a frustration. But this fight is still cheap. How does he keep all of these exploding presents with him? And how does he make them not explode until he throws them? Yes, Peter, we'll meet again, but only as a summon. How did Tinkerbell drop a Moogle on Donald? She's way too small BO to carry that thing. Also, Tinkerbell is a jerk to Donald. Now this fight gets cheap.
We 3 We're never apart.
Except your last adventure. Belle walks toward this huge door that's way too heavy for her to open. Weaver kicks still look dumb. Character tries to say something important but is cut off cliche. When I first got here, I was very confused on why Maleficent is in the same world as Belle and Beast. I legitimately thought the game's developers were getting their worlds mixed up. And I can imagine others who haven't played the first game must have also thought this was Beast's castle. Come on, Belle, you have plenty of room to run away. Sure, you're close to a dead end, but there's still some room to run around her. Beast just broke his knees falling from that height. How did Belle run fast enough to block Maleficent's attack? This is a problem throughout the game, but the bonus cards are way too impossible to find. And our reward for finding it in this world is the Mushu summon, when, once again, summons stink in this game because of how easy it is for enemies to card break them. Gas leak. Maybe it's because I'm better at Kingdom Hearts than I was then, but I'm pretty sure this boss was harder in the Game Boy version. I think you had a better reason to be mad at Belle than you think. She scolded you for trying to save her. True, you were ultimately wrong, but you had no way of knowing her side of the story. I've always wondered who this Mr. Sanders guy is. Is Pooh's last name Sanders? I always thought his last name was Bear, considering he's been referred to as Pooh Bear multiple times. Character thinks that nobody is actually the name of a person cliche. Again, even though Pooh's supposed to be absent-minded, he sure knows how to make his house, and he even managed to keep it in decent order. Piglet's minigame isn't even a real minigame since he runs in a very small circle, making it easy to catch him. It's not as much of a pushover as it was in the GBA version, but still easy enough to sin. Game made me look up the definition of the word fidgety. Why does Rabbit have laundry if he never wears clothes? I know the 100-Acre Wood citizens aren't very smart, but Rabbit needs to watch where he rolls that thing. I know a Winnie the Pooh character dying is completely unheard of, but Pooh survives this. Well, it's better than us being complete jerks to Rabbit like we were in the Game Boy Advance version by destroying his wheelbarrow. Rabbit actually rolled that pumpkin over the hill and let go of it before it reached the top? That's amazing! I guess they felt they couldn't use Bounce-A-Rama. At least we have an actually new Disney World song. Tigger says, can Pooh jump that far? Let's see if I have this right. A well has huge gusts of wind coming out of it. And yeah, this has got to be the biggest he survives this in the history of Kingdom Hearts. And it's in the 100-Acre Wood of all worlds. This minigame says to exterminate the beast. I don't think something Pooh related would use that word. How did Eeyore lose his tail all the way up there? I know Eeyore's always depressed, but others would help him. They helped find Eeyore's tail multiple times before. Gopher and Kanga are still missing.
Did you even notice? I was delving deep into your memory as we fought.
How would we have noticed? This isn't the same card they gave Vexen earlier. You could see Destiny Islands. Took long enough to finally get an original world. How did Jiminy know the previous worlds were from Sora's memory? I'd assume they'd have forgotten that by now. The enemies in this world and Destiny Islands are just reused enemies from earlier but with less variety. So I'm sending one for here and one for there.
What's wrong?
Oh, so now they decide to have actual vocal dialogue in these worlds. After all, the Disney worlds are over.
In its silence, we forget. In its obsession, it binds our hearts.
Cut the riddles.
Sora would be great at CinemaSins.
If you remain bound by the chain of memories,
Roll credits.
your existence is worth nothing!
Daylight savings time.
You're the one who changed Riku.
You've known that for the past hour. His attacks are a nuisance to avoid. To think I beat both fights on my first try in the GBA version. Nobody murdered.
Now nowadays, the only thing you talk about.
You want me to abandon her? Then do whatever you want. You can lay back and take a nap for all I care.
Just when you thought the arguing before the finale cliche was a movie-only thing, here this game is to prove you wrong.
Vexen is no more.
What kind of babies do they think we are? Just say dead. Also, Sora beat 4 worlds in the time it took Riku to beat 1 boss fight? Riku's slower than Aqua. Unlike Sora, Riku has no Halloween Town costumes. Was Riku even here? I know he kidnapped Jasmine in the first game, but how does he have memories of here? Ah, Kingdom Hearts. The franchise that teaches kids false information about Final Fantasy. Selfie's playing the pronoun game. I guess it makes sense to play a slower version of this theme since the game's almost over, but I still like the original theme better. This is the last world where green cards appear. Character's seen as crazy for seeing something he really did see cliche for the second time in the game. Riku thinks he's Iris. They play the pronoun game 2 cutscenes in a row. It was Riku who opened the door to darkness and destroyed the islands, so why is he here instead of at the door? Like all Kingdom Hearts games, Darkseid's a boss, and he's too easy.
I'm not supposed to be in this picture. That's true. That isn't me. I'm not there. My good luck charm. No, Sora. You can't believe me.
What is going on here? Even after being a Kingdom Hearts fan for 14 years and understanding some confusing elements better, I still don't get what's going on. Memory Namine's admitting she's not really Sora's friend, but then the other Namine, despite wanting Sora to know the truth now, is saying not to listen to the first one.
Call out to that piece of memory that glimmers faintly deep inside your heart.
The answer lies in your heart, cliché.
Because I went into your memories and...
Let me explain this.
Riku Replica makes Namine look bad by not letting her
Plain and
explain her
simple.
reasons.
Your memory is a train wreck.
Parents. His dark aura attacks brutal. Game spoils that this isn't Riku.
Have it your way,
Burger
then.
Kingdom Hearts.
It's a little late for the witch to grow a conscience.
That's witches. Down on Goofy Ex Machina.
Maybe you could look after Riku?
You just learned that wasn't
We'll come get you
Riku.
when-
Nothing stands out about Lexius except his strength.
Remember me.
Nope, there's no Coco World yet. An old man's reaching at a teenager. Hiding or disguised characters always get caught, cliché.
So you only eliminated Vexen to obtain proof of our plan.
In the original, he sounded like he's using that as a reason why Axel's a traitor, when he told Axel to kill Vexen. So I take my hat off to you for fixing that.
I'd really rather not fight you, but I can't dishonor the organization, now can I?
How would that dishonor the organization? If anything, you're stopping us from stopping the guy who is opposing Xemnas. That's dishonoring the organization.
Who will I look after if I don't have Namine?
Your other friend.
So just destroy my heart.
You can't protect
I
Namine if
promise.
she kills you.
I don't need any memories to take on someone like Marluxia.
Are we going through this again? That even if I'm powerless, I can still destroy evil if I have love nonsense? Especially since this time, Sora believes he doesn't even need his heart.
You'll be nothing but an empty shell.
And he'll look like Shedinja, but his Wonder Guard will block your grass type attacks. This area looked more epic in the original. This isn't used as a platform anymore. That was awesome. They misspelled whirlwind.
Can't you use your magic to put Riku's memory back to normal?
That's not Riku. Do you have short-term memory loss? Oh right, I forgot what castle we're in.
I'll just make a big note in my journal. Thank Nominate.
How do you know that won't get erased like your other pages? This is heart-wrenching, but this pod closes slow enough for this conversation to happen.
The keeper of this castle, Marluxia, has just been felled by the Keyblade Master.
Riku's last cutscene talked about how Marluxia was next. In the 10 seconds Riku took to run upstairs, Sora's already won? This castle should be renamed Castle Time Inconsistency. Riku should be falling into the water from landing this close to the edge. He really thinks they can hear him from this distance. Characters talking to someone but then realize they can't see him, cliché. Are they saying Darkseid was actually Riku, or is that one of those metaphors? Sora Ex Machina.
There's no power that can defeat you.
Except for Sora, who defeated him twice. Game hypes up a Sora boss fight only to reveal that it's actually Zexion in disguise.
You reek of darkness. Even the light can't block the smell.
When did you learn that it wasn't Sora? We never saw you find that out. Zexion's death feels like a copy of Vexen's death. Both are killed by Axel in some way.
You're not the true Ansem.
Insert Kingdom Hearts 2 spoilers here.
You are to meet Nominate.
Who's that?
You will know soon.
Are you practicing before you constantly abuse Roxas like the unlikable jerk you are when in this form? Oh, you thought Riku Replica was unfair in Sora's story? This fight makes that fight look like a child's play now that you can only use lights in dark form. Sometimes it's hard to tell which Riku's which.
What happens when a fake dies? One like me. Where will my heart go?
Do you even have a heart?
I did all the work on the raft by myself.
Have you forgotten who found the cloth, rope, and logs for it?
I told him to take care of Kairi, and here he is just taking a nap.
Did you not pay attention to anything Namine said in this entire
But I can't chew
conversation?
him out
It's
like
the
he
only way to
deserves.
regain his memories.
If I
Or are you
didn't
just
sleep.
trying to do something?
You and Kairi smell the same.
I guess you decided not to go to sleep.
How'd you know that?
Maybe because you guys would be talking if you did?
I smell you, Ansem. Show yourself.
Riku's finale feels cut short, just like his story.
Between the road to light and the road to darkness.
I'm taking the middle road.
Do you mean the twilight road to nightfall?
No. It's the road to dawn.
So, are there two roads between the light and dark road? Roxas has no cloak, meaning this scene's after 358 over 2 days. Roxas shouldn't remember Axel.
Come forth, Blue Eyes White Dragon. You idiot poop face. That is not how it works.